Ladies and gentlemen, join us for the next Blade Showcase for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and today we have, finally, a healer unit, Adenine, and I use the term healer very loosely because in the same way that Percival functions as a tank, in the same way Adenine functions as a healer, in that you're going to be spending more of your time attacking instead of doing actual healing. However, don't let that put you off because she is a very fantastic healer for this game. If you pair her up with Rex, and then you have another healer unit in your party, then you're going to be pretty much coasting through most of your battles without any troubles whatsoever, at least for the main story. Can't really say much for extra content. So, she used the Knuckles, and the Knuckles are a very fast-paced and exciting kind of weapon to use, which I will be showing you in the demonstration later in the video. Now, the thing about Adenine that you'll need to know is that she's a wind element, meaning she can synergize basically with any element in the game, which is quite useful. In terms of her battle skills, so we get Element Wisdom, increases blade combo damage, Battle Wisdom, which helps you with elemental weaknesses, which affects the entire party. That's extremely useful. She's like the perfect support, and at the same time she can still pack quite a mean punch, no pun intended. And of course, there is Treasure Wisdom. This is quite useful if you're in the market for farming your cores. That's something that you want to get, especially later in the game when there are a tier of cores that is higher above rare. Now, in terms of her actual affinity, there's some things that you'll want to know when it comes to her blade combos. So, her blade combo is Harness the Winds. This is quite useful if you feel that you're getting aggroed. It's very easy to build your affinity. That being said, it's very easy to build affinity once you get your pouch items ready. As well, there is Slipstream and Mortal Storm. Both of these are quite good in terms of damage, and they have a 60% chance, or a percentage-based chance of dealing a guard annulling. This means that whenever a enemy has a barrier around them and your attacks bounce off, use this and pray to the RNG gods that you'll actually get to annul that. Finally, there's also Element Wisdom, like I said earlier, increased blade combo damage and elemental weaknesses. This is all very well and good, and kind of just adds to her being the support. She supports the entire team by making them all stronger. And of course, there's Treasure Wisdom. She's quite useful for when it comes to farming your items. So the thing about actually pairing her up with the driver, obviously a Rex is able to get everyone as things go by. In terms of your affinities or your auxiliary cores, you can pretty much just do whatever you want at this point. Like if you want to max out your affinity, then you can do it based on your playstyle. Me personally, I would prefer to have my auto attack aggro reduced. As well, we're probably also going to have like more when the affinity is maxed, so she can build it up really quickly. Of course, if you want to just burn your affinity over and over again with your blade combos, then you are free to do that, because they're all useful, especially when you're thinking about breaking or annulling enemy guard. So, in terms of my actual setup, I'm going to be functioning largely as a healer, but even then I'm a Wild Cavalier, meaning I will have 2 attack types and 1 healer. That's all you really need for most setups. If you need more safety, I recommend having a healer such as Nia on your team, but for now we're going to have a damage dealer and a tank. I'm going to go ahead and fight against this unique monster. Now, one of the things here is that she'll have the Grand Smash. It's once you actually have the affinities for Rex spec'd so that he can actually cancel his combos, it's actually quite easy to just build the combo right off the bat. So we're going to go ahead and start the battle. And usually I'll start with a Grand Smash, follow it up with a Bullet Punch, and then finish it off with a Feral Uppercut. If I have the meter, I might want to burn that affinity. Otherwise, just position yourself behind and get ready to go. 3 punches, then wait for 4 punches from the Bullet Punch, and then cancel into the Uppercut. And we're going to go ahead and reduce our aggro with the combo. And of course, because you're super fast, the thing I like about the healing Knuckles is that you're able to actually run really quickly. So yeah, again, keep canceling, keep building up. What I probably should have done is delayed my combo a little bit longer so that Toro would have more time to build up the Sandstorm, but we should be okay. Again, like, we're not even really thinking too much about this particular encounter because we're much higher leveled, but because of the way that Adenine works, you're going to be running around fairly frequently, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, so I got the aggro drawn on me, that's fine. Gonna wait, hopefully soon we'll have the, we'll have a Sandstorm. Go ahead and mash the, Alright, fair enough. Okay. So just continue the combo again. Remember, 3 punches followed up by a Grand Smash, then 4 hits of this bullet punch, and the uppercut. Very stylish, very fancy. Now what I want to do is that I'm going to go ahead and just let my affinity rest at 4 since I have the auxiliary cord to give me that damage. Alright. So yeah, already doing pretty well. Don't have to worry too much about the health. Like, really, the only people that are getting damaged is Tora, and Tora has a lot of HP, so we don't even need to worry about him too much. Now, one other thing I should recommend, especially to people that are starting out, they don't necessarily have the, the upgrades that I have. One thing I would recommend is to save your level 4 blade combos for either doing big damage combos like this, or for when it's time to mitigate damage. Once you do this animation, you're going to actually be invincible for the duration of the animation. This means that if you see a big damage incoming, then you can use that immediately. Alright, just gonna slap this guy around a little bit with our fists. And of course, yeah, like you're free to move around because the blade's the one doing the work. Just pay attention to your quick time events. And we just continue the... It's a really, really fast-paced playstyle. It's so much fun. Like, we're not even breaking a sweat right now. Of course, granted, we are quite a bit higher leveled, but still works very well for us. Alright, so again, we're gonna let our affinity set at level 4. And we're gonna go ahead and start canceling again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the uppercut. Okay, let's have heat. Yeah, we're gonna build up another Electrifier Storm, so that's gonna be one fire, 1 electricity, and yeah, 1 electricity and 1 wind, which will be me. Yeah, the funny thing about being a healer too is that you can effectively tank if you're high enough leveled. It's quite fun. Okay, just gonna go ahead and cancel into this then. We're going to start spamming our combo 1s in order to avoid some aggro. And again, it's super easy to build a combo with this. We're just gonna start canceling now. Spam, spam, spam. Just so you guys know, in terms of my actual pouch items are going to be very important for when you're trying to build up your damage. The pouch items that I'm using right now is the Victory Smoothie, which you get from the cafe in Torregoth, as well as the Narcipear Jelly. The Narcipear Jelly you get from the level 4 development or higher in Argentum. You'll actually notice that in these Blade Showcase videos, I'm actually be using those ones fairly often, so I recommend that. As soon as you're able to farm money, you can easily start developing your towns, and then once you do that, you will basically be all set. I actually look forward to showcasing even more with that setup, or if we can find an even more overpowered one, if such a thing even exists. Here we go. So again, 3 hits, then cancel again. Yes. Yeah, just remember to keep an eye on everyone's health. But the thing is though, like we're essentially like a never-ending fountain of HP potions. We should be okay. Here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. Again, if you need more healing, just do what I do. Just like cancel every other art with your Grand Smash to make those HP potions fly out. And again, because you're using a fist weapon, you can run around really quickly. Another idea that you might want to consider is having your... auxiliary core be the kind that lets you heal damage while you are running around. That might be something you might want to consider. Okay, so I'm going to start running around some more. Cancel into this. Flame Bolt, and we're going to do the Electrifier Storm to finish things off. We give ourselves 1 more heal before we begin the Electrifier Storm. There we go. And now he's knocked down. There should be some serious damage. Perfect. Alright, cancel this. And I think you should be almost done. As I recall, I think we've gotten 2 elemental orbs. And once we have the 2 elemental orbs, we can start to break them and finish them off with our team attack. Alright. Oh, we have the 1 elemental. That's fine. I think that should be more than enough. So start off with this, and go into Boreas. Oh, spin dash. And we'll have Poppy do this. Got the bursts, and now we can follow it up with some more. This should be enough to beat him. Yep. Time to start the overkill. Alrighty. This is when the exciting part happens. And let's have Poppy QT do this. Alrighty. And that basically does it for Adenine. Adenine is, like I said earlier, an attacker. Like, an attacker in the guise of a healer. And that's what I really enjoy about characters like this, is that it's a very frantic, fast-paced, in the same way that Percival has that approach to attacking. You're proactively doing something with your attacks. In this case, it's the Grand Smash, to continuously be showering your team with HP potions. And if you guys are lucky enough to get her, it's fine if you accidentally pull her on ret.